getting ready to go live because I'm going to forget to do that.
Okay. And I'm going to do my very best to not hit the microphone tonight.
This is episode
Like that.
138.
138.
Should we kick this dog in the nuts and see if it barks?
What is wrong with you today?
Maybe he's cranky because he's off his bathroom schedule.
Well, I can understand how that would make someone irritable.
Interesting fact. Irritable comes from the Latin, susceptible to anger.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. Save your receipt for a full refund. Here are your hosts, Mike and Darren.
Hey, welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. I am Mike.
And I'm Darren.
We have one Hades of a show for you today.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
So much stuff
Shut
happened.
up. Yeah.
My dog walks on my face in the middle of the GD night.
Uh-huh.
Every night.
And my oldest son broke his wrist. How it happened and what he said immediately after I went to go pick him up. Coming up on this episode of Irritable Dad Syndrome. Welcome to all our loyal listeners, and welcome to all our new listeners. Hey, by the way, and if you are a new listener, you can go to irritabledadsyndrome.com and you can listen to other, like every episode we have is right there on that website.
With descriptions
Exactly.
and searchable
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, there's cool stuff. We have a team of artists that spend minutes on each episode putting together the art that's associated with it.
And I'm telling you, they don't get paid
They don't get
near enough.
They work so hard that sometimes they forget to title the episodes. That happens.
Yeah.
But go to irritabledadsyndrome.com. A lot of podcasts do this. They talk about how you can reach them and how you can do your stuff at the very beginning. And I always found that annoying.
Yeah.
And I'm sure somewhere right now there's somebody annoyed.
Right.
But here's the deal. All y'all ain't listening to the whole thing.
No.
We got to get this out.
Yeah.
And I keep getting asked by people, do you still do the podcast?
Yeah. Yes, we do.
You can't walk more than 2 feet without running into a computer or an AI or something from the Matrix, which you could inquire, say, hey, does Irritable Dad Syndrome exist?
Yes.
To which it would say, here's the website.
Yes, it
Here's
does.
all the news. Here's all the information. Follow us on Facebook. That's an opportunity.
Yeah.
We put funny things. It's not all just here.
No.
It's all just not coming through your ears,
Yeah.
into your ears. It's there. We have a YouTube channel with videos. We're on the TV.
Yeah, we are. Dayton Public Access.
Yeah, and that show is on the YouTube.
Yeah.
We stream live on Twitch.
I think what you're trying to say is there's literally so much stuff at irritabledadsyndrome.com. It'd
Yeah.
make your head spin.
It's painful.
Yes. In
We
a
have-
good way.
We have merch. We've had complaint. Here's the thing.
Okay.
We've had an episode taken down because of a complaint.
Oh,
because
yes.
we used the Beyonce or
Levitating
Rihanna.
by
Levitating was on there.
Dua Lipa, which means two lips.
So we had to take down one of my favorite episodes, Venomous Beaver, and I have to remove that song from that episode.
Ah.
Yeah. And then we also had a piece of merch pulled down
What was
because
that?
it violated copyright.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I just found out.
Okay.
The one that has Bono the Edge, Jam
I
Jar, and Mrs.
knew
Burns.
that was gonna
Yeah.
happen.
I didn't think anybody knew who that was. Who knows who Bono is?
How did they know?
I don't know. I think somebody complained. The same thing with that Madonna song or whatever that was,
Right.
the Levitating. I think
Yeah.
someone. Okay, so different things that have our show on them, they have AI that goes through, and there was an option on there to say, hey, we just used a few seconds of this. We're talking over it. It's part of it, like the fair use review thing.
Yeah.
But if you click that, then you have to type a line or two. And I really don't care that much about having that song to put it. I just like, it's one episode. What I'm concerned about is if multiple ones keep popping up. I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe we have to do something. But
Yeah.
I let it fly. I'll take that out and we'll put it back up. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How'd Jacob break his arm?
Well, before we get to that,
Before that.
I wanted to mention that graduation is coming up. And for everybody out there who's getting ready to graduate high school or graduate college, just early on, Mike and I would like to, from our heart, congratulate you and just praise you on the success that you've had throughout your years of college and or high school. But I wanted to say, if you are a university or a high school and you do not have a commencement speaker, Mike and I are available.
We are.
To speak at your high school, to speak at we'll even speak at your community college graduation.
And we have real life experience because
do.
what they tell you is when you're in elementary school, they say, man, wait till you get to middle school.
Yeah.
That's going to kick your ass.
Yes.
And you study and you train and you get there. And there's like, okay, you've
Yeah.
mastered middle school. Wait till you get to high school. That's going to beat your ass.
You think 10th grade is
Right.
hard, sissy?
Yeah.
Wait till you get to 12th grade.
Yeah, and you get there, and
yeah.
they're like, well, wait till you graduate. Wait till you get to college.
Mike and I, we both graduated
been
high
there.
school. We've both graduated college.
Yeah.
We've been successful in life in our careers for
Yeah.
quite some time.
Yeah.
In August,
And-
will be
and
30
people-
years that I've
yeah.
worked in television.
And people congratulate you on each step.
Yes.
They say congratulations, and then you get out of college, and they say, okay,
now what?
Now what?
Yeah. And Mike and I know
Yeah.
the answer to the question. Now what?
I know what the
Yes.
answer
Yeah.
to that question was in the 90s.
Yes.
It was get out of my house
Yeah.
and go find a job.
Mm-hmm.
Now the answer is, I guess you can sleep on the couch in the basement.
Exactly. Now it's work from home.
But that's not the
Yeah.
answer in this house.
No.
Because in this house, the couch over there in the basement is daddy's couch.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody... I'm sorry.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I cannot wait to hear your commencement speaker. But here's the thing.
Well,
so
that's
if you
part of it.
if you need a commencement speaker, okay, if you want Mike and I to speak, give us a call, shoot us an email, reach out to
don't
us.
call. I
on
don't
our-
wanna- I wanna talk to
Reach
you.
out to us on our Facebook
Yeah.
page or our Instagram or any of the places, okay? And we will be happy to do this. If money is an issue. If you can't afford both of us, we'll throw in 2 for the price of 1. And if we get double booked, like holy
Yeah.
crap, we're both, then I will speak one place and Mike will speak another place, and we'll even get Dave Lay to come speak at your high school or your college graduation. So
Yes.
remember, graduation coming up. Irritable Dad Syndrome will be your commencement speaker.
And another option is to have one of us speak and the other one be in the crowd
Yes.
to heckle
Yeah.
the one speaking.
Yes.
We'll do that for extra.
Yeah,
Actually,
that'd
it
be
might be
great.
half price. I might do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So my son Jacob, he broke his wrist.
Wow.
Okay, he cracked it. And here's the thing. He did not tell me that he didn't have school the other day. He was out of school it was a senior day. He didn't have school. I didn't know this. I had no clue.
Okay.
So it's like almost 9 in the morning. I'm having my coffee before I make my commute into work, which is walk downstairs. I work
Yeah.
from home.
Okay.
Get a call, and the second I answer, I can tell that Jacob is hurt.
Okay.
He is in a bad way. And I'm like, oh, crap. And he says, Dad, I'm out here skating. I have fallen, and I think I have hurt my arm. And my first thing was, oh, God, are you okay? And then I'm like, wait, why are you at a skate park? Because I thought he skipped school.
Yeah.
And I was instantly...
Did he fall through a time warp and land back in 1996? Is that what happened to him?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
But I was so confused. I'm like, why? And he says, I didn't. And he's like, like Peter Griffin. He's like, I didn't have school today.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, where are you? And he tells me where he is at this skate park, which is like 20 minutes away.
Where is the skate park?
There's a skate park in it's like a Hamilton Fairfield skate park.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
official. It's not just
yes.
some place.
No. It's not some empty pool where all the kids go and shoot up and then they occasionally ride their skateboard.
Yeah. That's where I was raised.
So I'm like, okay, I'm on my way. So I grab my keys, I get my wallet, I call Libby and I tell her, and she's starting to panic. And then I call my boss and I tell her that, my kid called, I've got to go and get him. And I get in the car and I haul ass back out of the driveway. I'm going and I pass the UDF, I hang a left and I'm going.
Did you
then
stop
I
to get some ice cream?
I should have. Actually, that comes up in the story.
Okay. All right.
And I'm driving, and then I notice my gas light is on. I've already passed 2 gas stations
Yeah.
by the time I've noticed that my gas light's on, and I don't know where I'm going to get to this place. I'm
So you're
following
Kramer-ing it.
Yeah, I'm following GPS, just hoping that GPS is correct. I did find a gas station.
Okay.
And when I got to the gas station, I'm bumping, and Jacob calls, and Libby's on the line with him, and they're wondering where I am. I'm like, I'm on my way. I was like imagining me flagging people down.
Yeah.
I went and I got him, and he was sitting in his car. God love him. I pull up next to him. He looks at me and he waves, like, "Hi, Dad," with his good hand. He opens the door and he says, "Boy, you want to see the prize, Dad? You want to see it?" His wrist looked like it had an elbow in it. Yeah, it was, and it hurt like a mamma jamma. He was not happy. So I get his backpack and whatever out of his car, put him in my car, and we're driving, and the first thing he asks is, "Do I get ice cream because of this?" Do you get ice cream because you broke your wrist?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'll take you to get ice cream, And I'm worried about his car because, okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
And this is where, and Jacob might get mad at me because I'm talking about this, but I'm mad at him.
He can get his own podcast and complain about it.
He went to this skate park on a Monday morning, like around 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody there. Mm-hmm. Okay. I asked him if he had on his helmet, and he says, "Oh, I wasn't wearing my helmet because my helmet doesn't fit me, and I need to get another one." I'm like,
okay. All right. Yeah.
You
know, I hate it when I'm skydiving and my parachute just doesn't fit.
It's itchy. Yeah, it's like it's really uncomfortable. Yeah.
I'll catch a bird on the way down.
So, me, his mother, his grandmother, his drum instructor, you, all these people are like, dude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's very lucky because when he fell, he only broke his wrist. If he had hit his head, gotten a concussion, passed out.
Yeah.
I've got a friend who used to skateboard, and he was doing a thing where you jump and then you go down the steps on the rail.
Yeah.
Cracked his head open. Okay, he was comatose for a few days before he came back. You know. So, but he had friends with him when he did that. So Jacob was by himself. He's had the lecture. Okay. Anyway, I get him to the emergency room. And luckily we're there, and ain't nobody else there. We walked right in. They got us into a room.
You've said ain't nobody got time for that so much that now it's just like snuck into your normal. You're going to do that at work with these days. Ain't nobody got time for that.
But nobody there, you know.
Nobody there.
So we get back to the room, and I don't know if you've noticed this. Like, when was the last time when you took Charlie to the hospital for his thumb?
Yeah.
Did they ask questions like, do you feel safe in your home? Or is someone abusing you?
Yeah.
Or do you feel...
And I told him, no, I don't feel safe in my home. And yes, people do abuse me. But they didn't do
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the nurses ask...
They do ask that.
They're required to ask these questions.
And you're sitting right there while it's happening.
Yeah. Like he's going to say, no, I don't feel safe at all. Like with the guy who's going to,
I would, just as a joke, I'd love to have that asked and just say, just watch it.
Right.
Just don't.
But I would think to get a realistic answer that the nurse would say, "Hey, Dad, we need to do a couple of things. Is it okay if you step out in the hall?"
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're allowed to do that. But Jacob's 18, so. But anyway, one of the questions she asked is, "Are you able to learn?"
Are you able to learn?
And Jacob said yes, and I said, "Are you? Are you?"
Because I'll learn you.
Yeah.
Are you able to learn?
Are you able to learn?
That's the title.
And then
That's the title. You can vote all you want. That's the title.
That's the title. And then Jacob's like monkeying around with the remote control. It's like, "Oh, How to Train Your Dragon 3 is on. The nurse is trying to ask him questions. Can we watch How to Train Your Dragon 3?
And you and the nurse are exchanging looks like maybe he did hit his head.
So we put it on, and he's happy as a pig, and just sitting there watching How to Train Your Dragon 3, And they X-rayed it, and Libby left work, and she came and met us, and then they told us that like all the stuff, they did all they could do at this hospital up here in Westchester, that we needed to take him down if they're going to cast it, because they don't do that up here. So Libby
took a specialty thing.
Yeah,
to
apparently.
Okay.
So Libby took him down to the main hospital in Cincinnati
where the casts are.
They X-rayed it again, where they put the cast on it, and they asked him, "Do you want to be awake when we reset your wrist when we put the bones back?" He goes, "No, thank you." So they put him out, gave him some good stuff.
Okay.
And then they got. I think she said they set the wrist, X-rayed it, casted it, then they X-rayed it again. And I mean, it's just like, I don't know how many times he went in and had X-rays. But anyway, it's in a cast, it's in a sling, it's his right hand. He's right-handed, so he's sitting there trying to learn how to eat with his left hand, how to write with his left hand, how to shampoo his hair with his left hand. He's having a good old time.
Yeah.
But he had said he was glad that he didn't do more damage, one, because he only hurt his wrist, but he said that he was wearing his UC drip, and he's glad that didn't get scuffed up. And I said, "You were doing your what?" He was wearing his UC drip.
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 Drip. Do you know what drip is, Mike?
I thought it was morphine.
He was wearing a hoodie. But kids today call their clothes their drip. So I'm in the hospital like, you're what? And so I asked the nurse, I'm like, did he get any blood on his drip?
So
She knew what I was talking about.
Oh my God.
And the nurse who came in,
Yeah.
she was a skater.
Uh-huh.
She's like, oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
Where did you go? Oh, I've skated at that park with a helmet.
So
yeah.
long-time listeners of the show know that I am a huge fan of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It is,
Right.
in fact, my favorite book by my favorite author. And one of the things, it's got tons of satire and all these other things in it. And one of the things they do is refer to one of the characters as a hoopy frood,
Uh-huh. A hoopy
which is
fruit.
like a cool, really together guy. And it's done as satire, making fun of people just coming up with different words for normal things.
Yeah.
And I laughed at it when this is like in the 80s, 90s when I read that. And I thought, nobody's ever going to actually sound that stupid.
Right.
But now here we are hearing that you're talking about your drip.
Your drip.
Your drip.
Drip.
That just sounds like somebody in a basement somewhere was smoking it up and said, let's just start saying this and see what happens.
Yeah. And I asked him, I said, so you're happy to say that you're wearing your UC drip, but you will not get behind me and make Dent happen. You will not be part of the Dent movement. Because I think Dent is just as stupid as drip.
Why hast thou? Can we bring that back?
Actually, I think drip is even more stupider than Dent.
So I have something that feeds into this.
Okay.
Not really.
Okay.
So back in the 90s. all
I
right?
remember the 90s so well.
Let's go back even further. Back in the 80s, there was a computer game called Ultima.
Okay.
It still exists. You can still find it
I
on
used to
eBay.
drive a Nissan Altima.
Yes.
Okay.
This is one of the very first role-playing games. Computer.
I love
CRPGs.
role playing.
And it was based on Dungeons and Dragons, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Started by Richard Garriott, who made it in his garage. He's
Okay.
a dude that lives in a castle. It's a whole different thing. Anyway, the point is, these games were stupid popular amongst really, really geeky people, like the computer game people in the 80s. Remember the 80s? When you're talking about video games in the 80s, you're talking about like Atari and Nintendo.
Exactly.
I'm talking about the people that those people called nerds.
Yeah.
This guy.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So I never really played that much of them because I just didn't. I admired them from afar. I
Good
thought,
excuse.
I can't get into that. I got into it after college. So in the 90s, I started like collecting them all. I have them all now.
Okay.
And then I started looking for information about them on the internet, and I found an internet chapter called a fan club called the Ultima Dragons. And this is back when what was the MySpace? When you would click on somebody's MySpace page,
Yeah.
and then Bon Jovi would start playing,
Yeah.
and it'd show them like with sparkles on them and little GIFs going. So it was like one of those pages.
Yeah.
Little music from the game would start. Okay.
Before you, I remember the first time I heard of MySpace, my friend Mike Soproni, who is our rep at the Dayton Cable Access,
Yep.
it was asking me if I wanted to get on MySpace, and I had no idea what he was talking about. He's trying to explain it to me, and he told me, he says, you could have friends get on your page and see your stuff. I'm like, dude, you're the only friend I have.
So I get on this page, I see all this cool stuff, and I was like, here's other nerds talking about it. And they take it seriously. They had different, like there was an emerald dragon and a red dragon.
Yeah.
And these were like people that were in this group.
Yeah.
And you could mail them stuff. So years and years and years go by. I ended up getting married, so left all that life behind, because Dan likes the stream. Dan, you're going to like this next part.
yeah.
So I leave all that behind. And Darren, you can edit part of that.
Thank you,
I
thank
leave all that behind. Years and years and years passed. The other day, I thought, I need to look and see if this thing that was for a game that's like at this point 40, almost 30-something years old, is it still around on the interwebs? And lo and behold, they have a Facebook chapter.
Oh, okay.
So I applied.
Okay. Oh.
And
I hope they accepted you.
I was accepted.
Okay.
Darren, I know what you're thinking. Mike, save some for the rest of us. I am a member of the Facebook Ultima Dragons. I had to answer 2 questions.
Yeah.
What is't thou favorite Ultima?
If
And then the
if it
second
were possible,
question.
I would go over and
Yeah.
chest bump you right now.
So what is't thou favorite Ultima? To which I answered Ultima 7, of course. That's everyone's favorite Ultima. A lot of people
Yeah.
say Ultima 4, whatever.
Yeah.
Then the hardcore, like, ooh, I'm a emo, will go Ultima 5. Ultima
Yeah.
7 was a full black box, and it just said, you know what? We're going to put blood in this game, and you
Yeah.
can suck it.
Suck it.
So that's the best one. And
Yeah.
then it said, why? And I wrote, because. And they accepted me. So,
They were probably so excited that somebody wanted to join
yeah.
that they're like, "Don't piss him off.
Yeah.
Just take it, take it."
So I want to say hi to all the Ultima Dragons
Hi, all 2 of you.
out there. There's a famous.
there may be more of us than Ultima Dragons.
There's an actress that is an Ultima Dragon.
Okay.
And I don't know who she is or what she's been in. I saw it on
Is
their. It was on their Wikipedia.
Is it
they got all
Bryce
excited.
Dallas Howard,
No.
Emma Stone?
No.
Courtney
It's not.
Cox.
It's not going to go anywhere.
Okay.
It could be Courtney Cox. I don't know.
Okay.
The point is, she doesn't go by whatever name that is. She goes by like
Oh,
Ebony
Beatrice
Dragon
Wixon
or Ivory
friggin'
Dragon
her.
or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm going to start interacting with this group.
Oh, okay.
I noticed when our friend of the show, Mike Chisholm,
Mm-hmm.
entered into the U2 group, he came on there and said, hey, I'm a host of a U2 Letterman thing. He just threw it out there. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm a this.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do that on the Ultimate Dragons. I'm going to say, hey, I'm the host of the best damn podcast y'all have ever seen.
Or heard.
And I'm talking about this thing
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
So you're welcome
Yeah.
for all the members you get.
Yeah. I'm glad you're making more friends. I really am. I'm excited.
That's
for
all I needed was one more
yeah,
Facebook group
I
to
can't
be a part
wait.
of.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear more about it. So you and I have a son who's the roughly the same
Together?
age. No,
Oh,
no. You'd think by now we would. You know.
Yeah, they did that with a mouse.
Yeah.
Right? They got that mouse. Go ahead.
What?
They made a mouse from 2 dude mouses. They made a mouse from 2 dude mouses. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah.
They made a mouse from 2 dude mouses.
Well, there's more. There's
Was
some
this how-
scientific
was this
jargon
Pinky in the
there.
Brain? Okay.
This is just a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Because yeah, of course you can imagine the political battle that's being fought on the interwebs over
They're
this.
forcing all the other animals to
Yeah.
what? Okay.
Yeah. That's not what you were going to talk about.
No,
though, is
that's not what I was going to talk about. I was talking about you have a son and I have a son.
Yes.
They're roughly around the same age.
Yes.
Almost 15,
it?
right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And
Andrew's 15. Yeah.
Yeah. And what were you telling me that they do not do in school?
They don't use the bathroom
Right.
at the school.
Right.
They don't specifically. They don't use anything. They don't do anything in the bathroom that would take longer than a quick pee.
Right.
And I can kind of see that.
Right.
Now, I think it's a bonus if I go somewhere else and I have to poop.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's a flush I'm saving.
Yes.
I'm
Well,
saving
I remember,
toilet
you
paper.
know, when I didn't work at home, when
Yeah.
I'd go down to the TV station, yeah, hell yeah, I'd poop at work. I'm getting paid to poop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we asked. We said, exactly.
Yeah.
We said together, why don't you
Right.
like to go in the bathroom? And the answer was because bad things happen in the bathroom.
Right.
And I looked over at Bess, and she started to ask a question.
You can see the
I saw
wheels
it happening,
grinding.
and
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't normally stop her from speaking, but I did because this is my son. I said, "Stop!
Right.
Don't ask what you're about to ask."
Yeah.
And then I said, "Andrew, I was like, what do you mean bad things?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, they just hang out there with their phones and." Just it's weird.
that's what they do
that they're in
everywhere.
there. And then Bess just kind of sighed, and I looked at her and I said, "Are you glad that you didn't ask the question that I saw that you were going to ask?" And she
Right.
said, "Yes," because I know the question she was going to ask. And
Well, no,
I'm
it's
maybe,
like,
'cause
it's like
this-
you hear that, and it's like you think that you walk in and 2 kids are holding another kid, and someone's kicking him in the stomach.
yeah,
You know,
or just
Yeah.
just you don't know. You don't want to go.
shooting up,
You
doing
don't-
homemade tattoos.
If you're in a conversation and
Mm-hmm.
the conversation is PG,
Right.
you don't want to go 2 ratings above.
No, you do not.
You don't want to go R.
No.
You might go into PG-13, but you don't want to go way out of bounds there.
Yeah.
You don't want to walk into a Disney film and then it turns into a Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
You know? you don't want to shift the conversation that harshly.
No, you do not.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
We'll work out the
It's
kinks. This is
We
rehearsal.
should retitle this one episode 1.
The
and put it
rehearsal.
back. Nobody will know.
I would love to take episode 1 off.
Some listen to that again this week.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wanted to call, I wish it would, like, at the phone number, I wish I would get a text. Bert Flannerson in Boise, Idaho,
Yeah.
listened to episode 1.
And-
so I could call him and
yeah.
say, what are you doing?
Yeah, and now that I'm mentioning it,
Yeah.
someone else is going to go and listen to it.
Somebody has been going episode 1, 2, 3 for the past 2 or 3 weeks. They're up to like 40 something now. They've been going one every day or so.
Yeah, they don't have to do that.
No.
Yeah.
They're probably sitting there like, this thing goes freaking nowhere.
It doesn't.
It's the same 2 characters, but they're just talking about whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, this ain't Game of Thrones.
No.
It doesn't.
The only difference,
If you're new to the podcast, you do not have to listen from the beginning.
You're listening to the correct episode at this moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to listen to this one and then go back and listen to them in reverse order,
Whatever.
you're going to be totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might actually make more sense. A good place to start is to listen to the best of year 1, which
Yes.
is episode 52, and the best of year 2,
is
episode
104.
104. And
go from there.
in the show notes, we tell what episode it comes from. You could. This is the Mike's colonoscopy phase, where
Yeah.
Mike just wouldn't shut the hell up about his colonoscopy for
Right.
3 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
I'm going to go listen to those. Another thing I want to talk about real quick, and I'll get this out. We got a lot of calls of concern. So we had tree trimmers show up at our house.
I noticed that when I pulled
did
in.
you see that?
Yeah.
So Bess called and said, there's a guy here with a chainsaw, which got my attention. And
As it
he's-
should.
He wants to trim the trees, and it's going to be something $100. I'm like, part of me, I stopped just sort of saying I can do that because I can't do that. I
Right.
suck.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, we'll do that for the trees. And then I get another text. The amount is almost 4 times higher. It says he's just going to go ahead and mulch and do this too. I'm like, what? But then I thought, I'm also not going to mulch or do these other things.
You know what my theory is
So-
about mulch?
Yeah.
You buy dirt and you put it on top of dirt.
Yeah.
Whoever invented mulch was a brilliant genius.
So people, longtime listeners of the show, already have a little bit of anxiety right now because I'm talking about our
tree.
trees being trimmed.
And there's something in your tree.
And going further, just this past weekend, was it this weekend? We had storms and tornadoes and all this stuff going around. The trees were blowing almost sideways in our front. It was insane. I was actually a little concerned. Again, I got calls, I got texts, I got messages on Facebook. Is it okay? So I went out. And people that follow us on Twitter and the Facebook know I posted a picture. The bag of dog is still in the tree.
Yes.
5+ years on.
Yes.
And I'm never going to bring it down. And the thought is that it's probably grown into the tree at this point. And when they perfect DNA technology and I can get the dog's DNA from that dog, we're going to have that dog recreated.
Oh, you're
we'll
gonna
have her again.
yeah,
She'll be here again. Molly 2
Now,
from a number 2.
did the
Don't laugh at that. That's terrible.
the guy? I'm assuming it's a guy. I don't mean
Yeah.
to be sexist. Was it a guy?
I guess. She
Okay.
said a guy with a chainsaw.
Okay, most tree trimmers are
Yeah,
guys.
in
I'm just
theory, yeah.
don't start
mean,
any with me. Don't send any
It's-
letters.
It's statistics.
I don't want to talk about it.
He identified as a man.
Okay. I want to know if while this guy was trimming your tree,
Did he see the
he asked the question, there's a bag of dog hanging from your branch. Do you want me to get that?
So you know how far our front step is from that tree.
Okay, I'm
I
not
stepped-
in feet,
I
but
stepped out and immediately I saw the dog. There's no way that anybody trimming that tree did not see dog.
right.
I'm a little upset that we didn't get questioned on it.
Yeah.
Like, do you know that you have
yeah.
there?
Yeah. Although the in the bag is probably evaporated.
It's there. It's brown.
It's still in there? Okay.
It's in there.
Okay.
There's something in that bag.
Okay.
I mean, the water may be gone, but the solid feces is in there.
But remains. But no, I could just imagine him, going to his next gig, or let's say it's a 2-man team. It's like,
Yeah.
Did you notice that there's a
But
bag in the?
It warms my heart because this show, I mean, it had been in the tree for a couple of years before we mentioned it on this show.
Yeah.
And now it's still. That was
still-
like one of the first episodes. We ran out of things to talk about.
What kills me
we had
is
nothing
that,
to talk about. We
that
started talking about
your
flying
wife
dogs.
is just fine with that.
She wasn't. She wasn't for about a year and a half, and then
And now she embraces.
it's became a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we have out there, and
Yeah.
it's part of the show. It's if this ever gets famous, whoever has this house later, once we get kicked out,
Right.
I'm going to put in the deed they can't remove the from the tree. It's got to be there.
When my dad died, he built his own home. Okay, he lived in the mountains of Virginia, and he also built an outhouse.
Okay.
He had an actual outhouse
Okay.
with the magazine or with the Sears catalog in there.
Oh, yeah.
The joke was the Sears catalog. You crumple the paper.
Yeah.
And there was lye that you
Okay.
that you poured to
Ooh,
to
geez.
eat all the stuff or whatever. So when he died and I sold his house, the guy who bought the house, I asked him. I said, are you going to get rid of the outhouse? I hope you don't. He goes, oh, no, I'm never going to get rid of the outhouse. He says, it just adds to the appeal of the place. So the outhouse is still there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Is it a pit under there that the poopy goes down into?
It's just
a pit.
yeah.
How deep does it?
I don't know.
Do you put water in there? I mean, I don't know
2 or
how
3
outhouses
feet.
work.
Yeah, it's not like one of those
Fancy thing, like septic things, like at a park. At a park, it goes down to a septic tank. and-
yeah. Well, no, at a like if there's a what's the word I'm thinking of? A porta potty.
Oh yeah.
a portalette.
That goes into that blue water.
Yeah, it goes into the blue water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We used to have a camper, and we had a potty in it that had the blue water, and
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was the coolest. I used to flush the toilet,
Uh-huh.
and I got in trouble, but I couldn't. I kept doing it.
we
I was a troubled child.
we have ran out of things to talk about.
Welcome back to the Poopy Podcast. We'd like to welcome our Dayton viewers.
Yes.
Just think, 45 minutes ago, you were watching some jackass talk about politics. Now
Yeah.
you're looking at two jackasses talk about dog.
Yeah.
Welcome to America.
Yep. Speaking of dogs.
Yes.
Yep. Marbles.
Oh,
That's when I point to you, Mike. That means it's you talk.
All right.
So
everybody knows that me and Marbles have had some issues.
yes.
He started some new with me lately.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is what he does now. This is what he did last night. Dakota apparently had some intestinal issues
Mm-hmm.
and needed to keep going out to go potty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what does she do? Does she nose one of us or paw one of us? No, she goes down to the door, stands there, and starts yipping.
Yeah.
Okay. So I like to pretend that I don't hear it. And I just lay there.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then Bess, I'll hear her go, ugh, and she'll get up and she'll go down.
You're
Now-
giving away your. She listens
know.
to this podcast.
Yeah, but she's like a few weeks behind. I still have a few more, about a month of peace.
Okay.
And then the Marbles is attached to her. Like he goes everywhere she goes.
Right.
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 So he jumps up he crawls from the depths of under the covers
Mm-hmm.
and then chases her. He always wants to go out too. It's cold and wet out there.
Yeah.
So the way Marbles comes back into the bed is instead of climbing up into the bed where she is, he jumps up on the other side of me, walks over, and plants a wet paw right on my cheek, which causes me to cuss and jump up in bed, to which Beth says, what? And then I'm not going to, I was just laying there in bed while she was dealing with the dog, so I just
Right.
say nothing, and I go back to sleep. And then an hour or two later, I hear,
Uh-huh.
yip, and the whole thing happens again. Last night, Marbles walked on my face
Uh-huh.
3 times. That's not a statistical. That's not chance.
Right.
He's aiming for me. He's doing that on
He
purpose.
knows
at
what he's
that point.
doing.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a fat head,
Right.
but I've also got a fat ass. You think he would
not
hit that
so
first?
fat that he can't
He
get
can-
around it.
Yeah.
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 I think he's trying to. I think he's trying to prove something to you, Mike. I think he's trying to establish dominance in that bed.
No, I
And you're
I
the
know
man.
what it is.
Anyone who's going to be dominant in the bedroom, it's going to be you.
He
by
likes
God.
to. He
What
likes
am
to
I
put
talking
his
about?
head. He likes to put his head on Bess's pillow,
Uh-huh.
which and there's no physicist out there, but what happens is when he does that, his ass is aimed at me. Mm-hmm. And I always have to move his ass down and aim it at Booba, who's right there. But I'm like, you know what? This dog's ass is going to go in another dog's face. It's not going in my face.
Right.
And then he wants to be back in the same place, so he jumps up, lands on my face, and goes. It's terrible.
I'm not telling you how to live your life, but these two dogs would be on the floor if it were me. That's just me.
I need to grow a pair. Is what I need to do. I need to take charge of at least my side of the bed. I'm yanking covers away from Booba all the time.
Yeah.
Because she plops her butt down
Again,
and then it takes the covers off of me.
You own the bed. You
Yeah.
own the house. You own the dog.
Yeah.
Take dominance.
Okay.
Own the bedroom.
I should.
Yeah. You won't.
I won't.
No, but you should.
Nope. We had other crap we were supposed to talk about.
I know. So I've tried. I've been trying to be a lot more. What's the word I'm saying? I've been trying to reach out to our fans a lot more on
Okay.
the Facebook.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I noticed the other day that one of our loyal listeners, her birthday was coming up.
Okay.
Okay. So I reached out on our Facebook page, said, "Hey, happy birthday to this person." Well, another listener is now all jealous. "Oh, you love this person so much, and you never love me this much as you love her." Whatever. Like we're in high school again.
Well, the answer to that question is yes.
yeah.
Yes. I don't care about your birthday.
I'm like, is it your birthday?
Yeah.
Did I ignore your birthday?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So,
You know who you are.
yeah, you're not allowed to listen to the show anymore. You're banned from this show. That's how you handle that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got so we now have a second band person from the
do.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you're happy.
Yeah.
I hope you're happy.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
This is one of those that's going to end up being our favorite. Because,
I think so.
You're going to edit the piss out of
I
it.
think so. I think
Yeah.
so. It's spring here in it's everywhere.
That's how seasons work.
Everywhere in the United States, it is spring.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have neighbors, and I don't know if you have neighbors like this. I assume that you do. The very second the sun comes out and it reaches above like 60 degrees, they're out mowing their grass.
Yeah.
They have to be the first person who mows their grass. And I don't get it. I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you, I've got neighbors on each side of me, okay?
Yeah.
And this is what I do, okay? They think they're so smart. They think that they're really getting me by mowing their grass before I do. But this
Yeah.
is what I do. It's called the 5-2 lawn mowing rule.
Okay.
So my neighbor to my left of me, when he mows his grass, say he mows his grass on a Saturday, I wait until Monday and I mow my grass.
Okay.
Ask me why.
Why?
Okay. He thinks his yard's going to look better than mine. So he
Yeah.
mows on Saturday.
Yeah.
His yard looks better than mine for 2 days. I mow, then my grass looks better than his for 5 days.
Okay. All
It's
right.
the 5-2 lawn mowing
Oh,
rule.
I see what you're saying.
So listen, guys, I'm telling you, stop being so, I got to get out there and mow the grass before Larry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wait until they mow, wait a day or two, then mow. Then your yard looks better than theirs for almost 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's simple math.
Yeah. I don't care
Yeah.
what our lawn looks like. I mean, you can't tell from what we just spent on it.
Do you
but
still have your lawnmower in the living room?
No.
No, okay, you
it's
got it out of
moved
there?
It's moved out. I actually used it this weekend, and I did mow.
I did. I
mow
mowed
the
too.
grass.
Yeah.
Moved all of Marvel's crap out of the way.
Yeah.
Ran over some poops.
Yeah.
It did pretty good.
Do you go out there and pick up your own dog poop? Or do you just mow over?
Best does.
Best does. Well, let me ask you a question.
Sometimes
What do you
Andrew-
do around the house? Best lets the dogs out. Best lets the dogs back in.
I made wings tonight. I
Oh,
did that.
did you?
I made wings. I did.
Oh, I love wings.
I
Were they
make
spicy wings?
Oh, well, we had all different. We had like the spicy. We had the buffalo.
Yeah.
Then we had Asian zing,
Ooh.
and we had
Are we
honey,
allowed to say that?
honey barbecue.
Asian
yeah.
zing,
We
okay.
just it depends where you put the accent. Well, we got the BW3 flavors, which I discovered at Kroger. You can get BW3 sauce flavors, so we
Yeah.
did those and air fry the wings. They're
Okay.
better than BW3s because they're not greasy,
Right.
but they taste the same. Oh, it's good.
Okay.
It's good wings.
Okay.
I don't even know if Bess is a huge wing fan, but she just like the wings when I make them.
I do
so
love
I
wings.
do that.
Okay.
I did laundry this weekend.
I did a boatload of laundry this
yeah.
weekend. Yeah.
And I edited the video version of this podcast.
No, I mean, what do you do for the house? Not for.
I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
I wanted to send a shout out to Mike Chisholm and the Letterman podcast. You mentioned him a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
He hosts a show called the Letterman Podcast.
It's about David Letterman.
It's about David Letterman, and his show is coming up on a 1-year anniversary.
Whoa.
Okay. Yeah. And I was his first guest on the Letterman podcast. And so April 20th is the anniversary of the Letterman podcast. Mike and I did a thing where we reviewed the U2 David Letterman Disney Plus special, and we did the review with Mike, okay? And he had to run, so it was only like about 20-some minutes with Mike. Mm-hmm. I did something, I went rogue, I apologize.
Okay.
But I had a thing called Darren's Magazine Collection. Over the past 30 years, I've collected all kinds of stuff from David Letterman, magazines, books, coffee mugs, mouse pads, T-shirts, this, that, whatever. So we recorded a little thing with me going through all the collectible stuff that I have with David Letterman. Anyway, that's going to be coming up here in a couple weeks. But if you want to check out the Letterman podcast, do that. He's had writers and guests and producers and just all various sorts of people who have actually worked on the Late Show and Late Night with David Letterman.
Yeah.
And it's a good time.
Yeah.
And check it out, and I think you'll enjoy it.
So another show we're going to be on, is it next week? It's next week.
Yeah.
Is our buds over at the Buds.
Yeah.
Our pals.
We're friendly with them, but I wouldn't call us friends with them. We've never hung out.
Our friendlies over at the
Decision Reel.
Yeah, Decision Reel. Yeah. You can edit that to make me sound less like a douchebag. Our friends over at the Decision Reel have asked us to be on a segment that came out of Darren's head that they use now.
Yeah.
Which is, how have you not seen this?
Yeah.
Which came about because when we were on their show,
Yeah.
we found out that one of the co-hosts of a movie podcast
had not seen Star Wars.
Star Wars. I have a movie podcast.
And I haven't seen Star Wars.
And Darren said, "How have you not seen Star Wars?"
Yeah.
What do you like? I mean, if you were going to take their license, you were going to drive to wherever they are. And just
I was going to. They're out of
license out.
They're out of Massachusetts or Maryland. They're out of Maryland.
One of them northern.
I was
going
to call the governor of Maryland.
Yeah.
And have their podcast license revoked.
The show came to a screeching halt. Halt. That's how you say that. I knew I'd get one of those vowels in there. Anyway. They had asked us, they'd send us a note saying, "Hey, we have this segment." And I'm like,
of course you do. Darren invented it.
Would you be interested in coming on and talking? I was like, I can't think of it. Because Darren and I both love movies.
Yeah.
And between us, we've seen everything.
Pretty much everything.
And I'm like, what the hell would we possibly talk about?
Oh my God, we went back and forth and like, have you seen?
And we finally gave up. I think I don't remember. We came
like
with
Lawrence of Arabia.
Lawrence of Arabia. We do that.
Yeah.
And then one of the tapings of this show, you brought up the fact that you've never seen The Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
And you talking about record scratches. I almost threw you out of my damn house. Like, how have you not seen? I literally said that. I was like, how have you not seen The Evil Dead 2? I was like, that's it. So I threw that out to them. They thought that was hilarious because you'll see why when you see the movie. It's a hilarious movie.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. It's perfect for us to be on their show talking about that movie.
Yeah, so it's going to be my idea, and then they're going to, and I love, this is what I like most about this, is that it's going to center about me. It's going to be all about me. Darren, how come Darren didn't do this, and Darren.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to watch Evil Dead 2. Now, I was never against seeing it.
Yeah.
It just,
No.
it just never
That
came around.
That happens.
Yeah. Like, how have I,
my favorite thing about Evil Dead 2 is that it's basically Evil Dead 1 all over again with a bigger budget. Like they didn't even address that at all. Like, I love the fact that there's probably people who went into the theater, I can't wait to see what happens next. And they're like, wait, this is the same damn movie.
Yeah, I mean, I like Bruce Campbell. I really like Bruce Campbell a lot.
Yeah, this is the one that made him him.
So, I've never been against seeing it. It just, Well, the one that I was gonna pitch that we do is the hey I'm driving a car really fast. What's that?
You're Driving Miss Daisy.
No, I've seen Driving Miss Daisy.
Days
the
of
Fast,
Thunder.
Fast and the Furious.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you've seen that.
I've seen most of the first one.
Yeah, and I have not seen any of the Fast and the Furious movies.
I think Evil Dead 2 is the
Yeah.
perfect
So-
movie for us to.
So yeah, I'm gonna watch that, and then we are going to review that with the
Yeah.
gentleman from the Decision Reel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And when that's ready, we will post a link to that on our website.
Imagine Jim Carrey in They Live. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much with a haunted house feel to it. That's
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies, Libby and I we went back and watched some classics. Cameron, we had thought that he had seen Forrest Gump.
Okay. Yeah, we saw Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
with you guys,
we asked him. We said, "How have you not seen it?" He's like, "Every time I wanted to watch it, you're like," because he was like a little kid.
Yeah.
and we didn't think he would get it. Anyway, so we watched it with Cameron. Oh my God, not a dry eye in the house.
Yeah.
We cried when Bubba died. We cried when Jenny died. Spoiler alert. Cried when Mama died. Lieutenant Dan. And we cried when he made his peace with God. And you call this a storm? And we were just everything. And it's like the movie is still just as good today as
it
it
is.
was when they first released it.
Yeah.
And I was so happy because I hadn't seen it in years,
Mm-hmm.
many years, and it has aged great. It's
Yeah.
still just as great.
Yeah.
We also watched Rain Man.
Okay.
And I think I've told you my opinion on Rain Man
farted.
because
farted. Yeah, I farted.
yeah. Did you fart? Yeah. I don't mind. Yeah. So. Everyone was raving about how great Dustin Hoffman was in that movie. And yes, he was great.
Tom Cruise
But
is
Tom
pretty good.
Cruise?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise went from just being nasty, despicable, you just want to smack him, to he won everybody over
Yeah.
in a little over 2 hours.
Yep.
And then you just fell in love with them.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
that takes some talent.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of talent.
So, yeah.
And then we watched Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I wanted to watch this again because the fifth one's coming out.
Yeah.
And you and I were going back and forth
Yeah.
about all of them are the same. And I remember not liking it at all when it came out. And I thought, I'm going to give it a second chance. I'm going to see. Maybe I was wrong. I've been wrong before. The first time I saw Pulp Fiction, I didn't get it. I didn't care for it. And everyone was raving and going on out of their minds. I watched it again, and I got it. And then it's one of my favorites, and I own the movie.
Yeah.
That's not how Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull works.
Yeah.
The movie's actually worse than it was when it came out. I couldn't stand Kate Blanchett, and I like her.
Okay.
Okay. And as much as I love Harrison Ford, I'm like, did you not read the script? What are you doing here, man? It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, they must have paid him a lot of money. So it was, And you saw Cocaine Bear, didn't you?
Me and Bess watched Cocaine Bear. So,
Did you watch it with the kids?
well, here's the deal.
Charlie, pull up a seat.
The kids were home,
Uh-huh.
and we wanted to watch a family movie. And we started going through the list of family movies. There's the stack of them up there on the table. I picked a bunch of movies that we could watch with both kids and keep their interest, which I thought were awesome movies. One of them was Dances with Wolves.
Oh, yeah.
That was a potential one. Castaway with Thomas Hanks. There were a whole gaggle of them. I thought maybe The Hunt for Red October because Andrew's starting to like those type of movies. And every movie was like, no.
Isn't
I'm
that
gonna
the
go,
worst?
I'm going to go with my friends. I'm going to play Apex. So me and Bess was like, she looked at me. She's like, I really wanted to watch a movie tonight. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Cocaine Bear is on Vudu right now. And she said, let's watch Cocaine Bear. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. So we parked our happy asses right down here. And we started Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
And I mean, we kind of knew what to expect.
Well, yeah.
But about the first 10 to 15 minutes you're watching Cocaine Bear, we were laughing immediately. In the first 30 seconds, you'll start laughing. I don't want to spoil anything, but you will start laughing the first 15 seconds.
Okay.
It really doesn't do what I thought it was going to do. I thought it was going to show the bear like finding the cocaine, eating it, and it doesn't. It assumes you know that happened.
Well, yeah, it's in the title.
It literally, the first time you see the bear, he is jacked up.
Yeah.
On, as they say, on the cocaine, but not on a train.
Right.
He is going crazy, just like mauling everything around. It's hilarious.
You ever hear that bit from Patton Oswalt talking about movies that some of them don't leave much out to in the title, and he's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. This with Cocaine Bear, it says everything
you need to
right
know
there.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about it though is that as you're watching it, you go back and forth between this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, and then right over to this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Because it is stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, it is stupid. There's a part where the Cocaine Bear chases an ambulance. This is the part that we were laughing. Spoilers.
Yeah.
This is the part we were laughing at the most. Is this woman gets mauled by the bear, but she's somehow still alive. For some reason, she's on a stretcher in an ambulance, and it's racing away, being chased by the Cocaine Bear. And he jumps, and it's one of those shots, and we just start laughing.
Kind of like Bo and Luke Duke going over the
And he lands in the ambulance and shoves her right up into the console where the dude is driving, and just starts like rah, 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 right down, and the dude is screaming, and it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. It's so good.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
It is
I will. I'm not gonna pay to rent it, but it's like I already have.
We did. We actually own it on Vudu now. We actually own it.
Yeah, I don't know how many different streamers that we have now, but it's gonna come to one of them.
I've definitely wait until it's on a streaming thing. It's yeah. You'll be glad that you saw it.
I did something on Facebook the other day that was. I think I raised the bar on stupid. So I was getting ready. And I'd gotten out of the Shure. By the way, I've started calling it, Libby and I call it the Shure. Go get in the Shure. And the kids go, shower? Sure. The shower? Get in the Shure.
Okay.
The shower, right?
Yeah.
Mom, shower? Sure.
Yeah.
We're like that character with the substitute teacher.
Yeah.
Jock Quillen. Jacqueline. Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Who the hell's? Yeah. So I'd gotten out of the Shure, and I'm putting on my deodorant, and I'll be damned if I got it under my left armpit and then it ran out. I'm completely out of deodorant. I go in the drawer and I realized that the other thing of deodorant that I got, clear, wasn't the same brand. So I'm like, well, I can't put one brand of deodorant under the left arm and another brand under the right arm.
No, you can't
Well,
do that.
sure I can. And I thought, let's just, because we're in the age of social media. So I got on Facebook and just told everybody, this is what I'm doing. I took pictures of the deodorants. I told everybody what was under the left arm and what was under the right arm, and then I would keep them posted. And I kept them posted all day long. My progress. And people were glued to it. I had people actively listening, waiting to see
what happened.
Yeah, and I had Gillette Clear Dry Tech Cool Wave.
Oh,
Gillette Cool Wave under my left arm.
Okay.
Right guard Extreme Defense Arctic Refresh.
yeah.
Come on.
So
Extreme Defense.
Yeah.
Extreme Defense.
I couldn't help but
I'm
notice.
not playing basketball here. What the hell is Extreme Defense?
So I was amongst the crew that was watching this take place,
Yeah.
and I couldn't help. I zoomed in on each picture, and I noticed that they're both antiperspirant. So you wear antiperspirant deodorant.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Doesn't that have the
it's-
aluminum? You're going to get like the Alzheimer's. That'll cause you the Alzheimer's.
Does it give you the Alzheimer's?
Well, that's what they've said for a while. Yeah.
That might explain a lot.
But I think it's the same people that say like aspartame and saccharin give you the heebie-jeebies
Yeah.
or whatever.
The cooties.
The cooties.
I've had cooties for 50 years.
So I use the deodorant. I use the Old Spice. The, you know the yeah.
You stand out in the river and you cut the soap open with your pocket knife.
Yeah, I'm more of the guy on the horse, that thing. That's the yeah.
Yeah.
I use the swagger.
Yeah.
For some reason, all the rest of them taste.
This soap tastes like
All the rest of them smell weird. For some
Yeah.
reason, the swagger smells the best, and I've noticed that it's the one that they usually have the double pack and they have the big old thing. So I
Yeah.
think that's everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
But
Well, the reason I use the antiperspirant and I use the clear was because I used to use the white deodorant, and it was
you don't wanna do
leaving white marks
Yeah.
in my t-shirt.
that's the aluminum. in
Yeah.
there. Yeah, you don't want
The
that.
aluminium.
Aluminium. See, the Old Spice Swagger is also clear, but it's blue. But when it comes off on your arm, it's not blue. You don't look like a Smurf. But it makes you smell.
Yeah.
So you gotta.
My favorite report was like 3 or 4 hours. I said my left arm got a little itchy, but that's no more itchier than it usually gets. Got 5 or 6 people laughing at it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to walk a fine line between smelling like the typical, the old school Old Spice. You don't want to smell like that because somebody will throw you in a home.
Right.
Especially at our age. They'll see the gray in the whiskers and be like, oh, I smell Old Spice. I see that man with gray. Let's put him in the home. And then you're stuck. You don't want to go too far the other way to smell like you've got Axe body spray.
No.
That you don't want to.
No.
You don't want to go there.
No,
I
you
think
don't.
the Old Spice, the blue ones. If you buy an Old Spice deodorant, get the deodorant, and if you open it up and it's bluish, you're good.
You're good.
You're all right.
Okay.
You might smell a little oceany, a little bear. They've got one that has a picture of a bear. It doesn't make you smell like a bear, which pissed me off. I wanted to smell like a fucking bear.
I smell like a bear.
Yeah.
You go up into a tree, lean up, and just start scratching your back against it. Or again it, as my dad used to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I made 2 or 3 remarks during the day. That night, I had made chili, and we had you were out of town, or you were where were you? Because
When was this?
Saturday. Because
We were here. Were we here?
I don't know.
Where was I?
I don't know. But
I was editing on
'cause
Saturday.
No, you said that because we.
Oh, I
couldn't-
said I had a place to go.
Yeah.
I just said that.
Well, that. I thought you were somewhere because you could have come over and had chili with us.
We would have loved to have come over.
Well,
where were we?
I don't know, but you said you weren't here. Anyway, so the Michaels came over to the house, and the Durbins came over to our house, and they brought their children, and I made chili. Okay, and this is the chili that I made when I worked at Channel 5 that won the chili cook-off 4 years in a row.
Oh,
Okay. Anyway, I asked Jason, I asked Aaron, I asked Chris, Mary, I asked my mom.
Okay.
I asked everybody if they would smell my armpits to see which one and nobody would.
wow.
And it's like, come on, this is science here,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
And they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, thank you for ruining the experiment.
you're headed towards the home.
I know. I was just like, I was going to complete it. And anyway, so this whole deodorant thing was left incomplete.
So there was one time, the store Big Lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we registered for our wedding.
I went in there with my mom once. I was a little tyke,
Okay.
and
Little tyke.
they had deodorant in there, and I remember I took the cap off the deodorant, and there was a hair on it, on the deodorant.
On the
stick.
new
On
deodorant
the-
stick.
Well, somebody had clearly gone through and used it, and my mom laughed so hard. I thought we were going to have to leave right there. We were both we thought that was the most hilarious and disgusting thing we'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Just a hair hanging off of it.
Off the deodorant. Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So think of that next time you're at Big Lots buying your deodorant.
Can't remember the last thing I bought at Big Lots.
Well, for some reason I connected that from then on for a while. Anytime I had a new toothpaste tube, I would squirt out a couple of inches of the toothpaste and just throw it in the trash. Like the first bit, because I'm like, what if somebody was like,
Taking a hit off
taking a hit off the toothpaste?
Well, you'd notice if there was any missing because there would be an indent in the squeeze.
Yeah. I wasn't that
By the
smart.
way, my kid, he twists the toothpaste.
Pisses me
He
off.
twists it like he's trying to wring the neck
I'd
of a
make
turkey.
him live in the shed.
And I was like, guys, if you take it from the bottom and squeeze it, you get all the toothpaste out. But no, he wrings it like he's trying to kill it. It's like, I can't stand you.
Yeah.
He just, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. You're talking about Big Lots. It reminded me of a story, and I don't know if I've told it, and if I did, I'll tell it again. But when my mother-in-law was alive, we went to visit her one time.
Okay.
And she was cooking, and she had lost her can opener. Okay, and so she's trying to open this can of green beans with a knife. She's trying to stab it
Oh,
from the top.
my God.
And I'm like, Mom,
This is
stop,
gonna
Mom,
go
stop, Mom. You're gonna cut your thumb off.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I'm just trying to open these green beans. I was like, Mom, stop, stop.
Yeah.
And I said, let me. Okay, so I went across the street. From her little apartment, and there was a place called Fred's.
Okay.
So I go into Fred's,
Yeah.
and I'm walking around, and I can't find. It's got 8 aisles, so
Mm-hmm.
you'd think you'd be able to find anything easily. Finally, this woman came up and says, "Sir, can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for a can opener."
Yeah.
And she says, "Well, what kind do you need?" And I'm like, "What?"
The one that opens
What's the
cans.
can? I said, I said, "What do you mean?" And she says, "Do you need an electric one or a handheld one?" I said, I just need a handheld one like the Indians used."
Oh.
And she says,
Oh, boy.
"Indians didn't use can openers." And I said, "Well, how did they open their cans?"
Oh, God.
And the look she gave me,
Yeah.
not she was not amused.
No.
She was not
no,
amused.
No.
More confused than amused, not upset,
Yeah.
but still,
Yeah.
I was not.
You were on the wrong side of her tracks at that
She
point.
was not in the mood for me that night.
No.